All right, here we are after the long journey, my man. We've done about four discussion videos on this game and its marketing. October 8th came, we had some time to play it, and now I am ready to share my thoughts and your thoughts on Metroid Dread. It is here, Phil. What'd you think of it?
10 out of 10 game of the year beats Doom Eternal.
All right, that's good. Thanks for showing up, everyone. That's the end of the video. No. um, oh man, this ever since Doom Eternal, this is the one game where I beat it and was like, wow, this was worth it.
Oh, dude, it was majorly worth it.
Oh yeah.
It was worth the wait. And you know what? I have to say this because, hey, to all the naysayers who
You're
say
wrong.
that, yeah, you were wrong. You have grown too comfortable with the modern day games, so your opinion is officially invalid. It is false. It is wrong. Metroid Dread is love. Metroid Dread is life. Metroid Dread. The dread will creep up in your bed at night. But anyway, aside from that though, not joking aside though, when it comes to naysayers on it, the game is just truly amazing. And I get that there are some people who are like super Metroid purists, but here's the thing. If you judge a game by its art direction and don't even experience it, then yeah, maybe you do need to step down and just stay on Metroid Dread.
So you have
I mean,
some
not
thoughts.
Metroid Dread, Super Metroid. And I say this because I've actually seen a channel. I'm not gonna say the name because I know that Twitch, YouTube, they have a policy against that. I'm not gonna say specifically who, but I heard them on a live stream watching the Nintendo Showcase when Metroid Dread was first announced that they thought it was garbage because of art direction.
Oh, I've heard a few people say things like that.
Yeah.
Um, like one of the common complaints was that the environment was too drab in a lot of areas, but like I felt like that was the point, you know? It's a Metroid game. It's meant to have kind of this doom and gloom. And
Exactly.
I know a lot of Metroid games have these colorful environments, and ironically, this one does too.
Yeah.
But
I
this
mean,
is this is a darker IP from Nintendo. Literally.
exactly. I mean, dude, this is basically they brought back the original roots of Metroid and just straight up like made it just.
This game was a fascinating combination of all the past games.
Right.
Uh, I mean, every Metroid game has elements from the original game.
Oh yeah.
And then
I mean,
the Emmy kind of serve a similar role to the Metroids in Return of Samus, where it's like you have a counter on the map for how many you've killed. And it also ties into the use of SAX from Fusion. And then Super Metroid, it has a lot of that, I was going to say backtracking, sequence breaking.
oh dude, yeah, because honestly, throughout the whole time that I was playing it, I felt like, okay, at first this feels like very Super Metroid-ish, like not in the beginning, of course, because you just randomly wake up, but as you progress, it starts to feel like Metroid, like Super Metroid, especially when you get to the Kraid fight. Oh my
Oh,
god.
I love that. I love that fight. Okay. The reason I love the Kraid fight, other than the fact that it's Kraid, um,
You
it's
love the Kraid fight.
oh man, but there's actually many ways to defeat him. The first one that comes to mind is you shoot his front butthole until he until the spider magnet drops down and you grab it, and then it brings you up and you start missiling his mouth. That's the first way you can do it. Once in a while, he will launch his belly spikes out one at a time, and if you time it right, you can jump on top of these to reach that spider magnet. The third way to do it is just take some high enough jumps and shoot missiles upwards to get in his mouth. And then, if you sequence break and you find the morph ball bombs earlier, then you can actually use that to insta-kill Kraid. And that there is just such a wonderful detail. Chef's kiss.
Yeah, because I won't lie, Kraid like gave me a little bit of trouble, but it's just like as soon as I saw like the pattern of how his attacks were going, like I forgot could he throw his nails?
You did.
Super Metroid?
Yeah,
he did.
I remember.
Okay, because I know that he did have an attack like that. I'm sorry, I'm also currently writing a link onto Twitter.
Oh yeah, no problem.
But let's see. Along with that, it was just like straight up. They made the Kraid fight like it just goes to show like what you can do with like modern technology. You could take a boss fight from like back in the early 2000s, the 90s, and make it 10 times more intense. Like, example, Kraid fight back in Super Metroid versus the Kraid fight in Metroid Dread. I mean, you obviously notice that the intensity of that has been doubled by 1,000, especially since you've got much more movement, much more mobility. You can you can basically spam the freaking button and there's no delay in the beam being shot out. And I'm gonna have to go and say, if there was a lot of people that played Dread right now, which one streamer on Twitch, Maximilian Dude, I seen him play it, the missile spam is officially a favorite of how to deal with the bosses.
I mean, it's like the number one.
Yeah, I mean, even the game encourages you to do it, because I am not gonna lie, when I played in my own free time, I tried to challenge myself and defeat one of the Chozo Robo bosses with just the charge up beam.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Wow. It was a pain, but it's possible. You just got to keep dodging his attacks and also study them, because he could have a specific pattern at sometimes where he'll bull rush you, and then when he gets close, he'll decide to actually take like a normal swipe at you, and that's when you can deflect.
Word of advice for anyone playing Metroid Dread, or really most Metroids for that matter. Treat your charge beam as a plan B if you run out of missiles.
Yes, exactly.
That's pretty much what it's for. Has about the same power too, now that I think about it. A funny detail about Kraid in Metroid Dread is, if you get a bigger look at the model, they never create his tail or legs, because his lower half is in the lava, so they don't bother animating it.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking the same thing, cause like, but then it also dawned on me, you kill the dude finally after all these years. He ends up dying in a lot. Wait, actually, you know what though? Here's the thing that really threw me off, and it'll come to later when we talk about Mr. Final Boss, but this dude died in the lava.
Yeah, that kind of surprised me.
He was standing in the lava the whole time. That's the one thing that just like screwed me up, and I'm thinking to myself, wouldn't he be slowly dying though if he was in there? Actually, you guys, obviously it was the Chozo that had him chained up.
Yeah.
But then it was like then it just dawned on me. Why did y'all bring him there in the first place? Like,
I'm still wondering that too. Like, they never explored that.
I have a theory about it. it may be wrong,
Oh shoot.
but it might be true. I think my theory of it is that, let's see, they said, but see, because here's the thing, Kraid would have died. No, because I'd say sometime between Metroid 2, no, Metroid 3 and Metroid Fusion, somewhere in between there, when Samus got infected and she had to stay, hospitalized because of that. Because if you remember, there were records of a Chozo being infected with. Well, actually, the Chozo guy said it himself. One of the Chozo warriors came back infected with the egg. So I'm
Yes.
thinking maybe
If
he
this
was
is
part of those. He was part of those, like a team of Chozo still searching for the Metroids, but they might have found some remains of Kraid instead.
well, they didn't say anything about Kraid. So what happened was, they murdered the Thoha tribe on ZED, and just to establish context for those who are watching, if you didn't play Dread yet, the Chozo in this game, the ancient bird people, they're divided between two tribes. Basically, the good guy Thoha and the bad guy Malkin. Basically, like that, in simple terms. So, back to it. When the Thoha were exterminated, they took one and they went back to ZDR. But one of the soldiers was an ex-parasite, and then this whole attempt at containment happened, and by the time that was done, all the Metroids on SR388 were extinct. So I'm thinking if the Malkin took Kraid from Zebes, then this had to be done before the end of Super Metroid, because that's when Zebes blows up. There's nothing that suggests how long this containment took. For all we know, Ravenbeak's intent on containing the X on CDR could have happened over a course of years. We're not sure. Unlikely years.
True.
Probably not years, since the second breach of containment on CDR didn't take too long.
Yeah. That didn't bode well. But here's why I say this, though. Because here's the thing. Obviously, they were gonna do something to Kraid.
Yeah.
And as we all know, but Kraid is like a very, very influential and famous boss. But here's the thing. Not very much to the Chozo, because it seemed like these guys were mostly interested in, finding Metroids, experimenting on the X-Parasite. But I'm thinking they might have took Kraid to see exactly what the X-Parasites would do to him.
Yeah.
I mean, they had him all chained up, they had him in lava. They probably, and I mean, the X-Parasites aren't really, like, as far as I know, they don't have any vulnerabilities. The only thing I know of is just that they can be easily, the only parasite or enemy that they really had are the Metroids, and since, they can't take over Metroids.
Yeah. I mean, they also can't control robots either unless they have organic components. Thus the Emmy. Thus the Emmy and the robot soldiers. In other words, Ravenbeak's robo-army.
Yeah, since his personal army pretty much failed at that. Shoot. But moving on to that, it's just, I also feel like it's crazy, because I also, when it came to the final boss, I noticed that Kraid was in there.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So it's like, okay, they might have gotten to his body or something when
the X form. Yeah.
Yeah, that specific X got to Kraid, and then just happened to come across Ravenbeak and Samus' fight.
There's a common theory that the X parasite that became Experiment Z57 is the same X-Parasite that infected Kraid and Ravenbeak because it went into the lava of Cataris.
That is true. Yeah, because I do, I think I do remember hearing about that.
Yeah. Yeah, I could see that being the case.
I think after, okay, but, after all the boss fight, though, I had to say the strangest thing to me in the entire game had to be that one X-Parasite that just decided to let Samus go.
Yeah, a lot of people were confused by that. I think what happened there was the implication that maybe Quiet Robe's memories were able to influence the X on some level. Because if you remember when he first gets infected, or his body at least, he's clearly under control of the X as he turns the Emmy back on. However, the only thing he seems to be able to say is, "I'm counting on you," which was the last thing he said before he died.
Yeah.
So I almost feel like mentally it's Quiet Robe, but physically it's the X, up until the end where Quiet Robe takes full control to save Samus.
You know what, though?
What?
It just thought, like, because I do, like, okay, I was thinking that, though, when he said that, and then when he turned back on the Emmy, I was thinking to myself, like, dude, why'd you do that? And then it dawned on me, this guy knows you can kill it, so it's like,
Yeah.
okay, cool. We get a free power-up then. Thank you. We just gotta kill it, and then it's ours. And that actually brings me to another topic on Metroid Dread. I found it strange that some of the suit upgrades that you could originally get are now within the Emmys.
Yeah, I thought maybe Ravenbeak slapped them in there or something.
Right? Because like either that or I'm thinking to myself, okay, the Federation's been looking at Samus too long, so they're kind of doing some copycat stuff.
Yeah. By the way, I'd like to ask, what is your favorite Emmy?
My favorite Emmy?
Yes.
Okay, so personally, I gotta say, okay, let me tell you first though, the one I think is the most annoying.
Okay.
The freaking one with the wave beam. I'm sorry, man. That thing is just like you are constantly like running from the thing because its whole search zone is covered. And then when you gotta dude, like when you gotta try to memorize where the exit is, but you don't have time to look at the little mini map, it's just like it oh my god, it's pure annoyance, especially when it can shoot the freaking charge beam through the separate modules. I'm like, you dick. But overall though, let's see, favorite Emmy, I'd have to say my favorite would be the speed boost.
Me too. Me too.
I mean, this is kind of separate because somebody would hear that and say, okay, but that one's stressful too. Here's the thing, you still get to hide from that one. But the moment you get spotted, that guy can easily run up to you, and that's in an area where you don't even have the gravity suit yet.
Yeah, the yellow Emmy definitely like scared the shit out of me with how fast it could go.
Yeah,
including including during the actual confrontation with it at the end, where you have to destroy it, and you gotta like aim and you gotta shoot, or that thing is gonna close the distance fast.
Oh yeah, shoot, man, I think that's one thing about the whole Emmy design that's just designed to like bring fear onto you. That's what I liked about these fear encounters these Emmy encounters. They just bring fear into you. they put fear into you because you know your weapons don't work. You're trying so hard to find the central unit, and the moment you get it, you're still gonna have a tough time because that dude can easily crawl up on you and just take you out like that. And, and it's so stressful because you have to perfectly time the counter.
Oh, I have so much fun with those moments.
Oh man, like, and people say you have one chance
Two.
to block it. No, that is completely false.
You have 2 chances.
You have 2 chances. It's just extremely tricky on that second one.
I think
The first one you can manage.
I think there are certain events where if you actively run up and touch the enemy, then it'll be like a 1 chance encounter.
Oh jeez. Hold on for 1 second.
Yep.
Hello.
Yep.
All right.
All right.
Give me just 1 second, real quick. I gotta go do something real quick. I'll be
Yeah,
back
no
in like
problem.
about a couple seconds.
Yeah, no problem.
But continue
Yeah,
with
of course.
discussion for the
Yeah,
audience.
of course. So it looks like it's you and me for the moment, audience. Yeah. The yellow Emmy, the speed booster Emmy, easily the scariest one for me because of how fast it goes. All the Emmy before that point were kind of an escalation in terms of their base abilities. And then the Emmy proceeding after the speed booster, you have the Ice Emmy, which is slower, sturdier, but it also has a freeze ray built into its sort of sensor, scanner, whatever you call them. And it freezes and damages you as it zeroes in. It's also the only Emmy with a yellow eye instead of a red eye. And then the final one, which Phil was talking about, is the purple Emmy. Built in with a wave beam. It can see through walls, and it can shoot a stun projectile. And that is definitely the strongest Emmy, because the 7th Emmy, you actually don't truly fight. In a surprise twist of events, you use your newly awakened Metroid powers to absorb its energy and quickly defeat it. So that's new.
It definitely is new.
Oh, welcome back. I was just telling the audience of ours about the different Emmy types.
And I'm guessing on how the last one you use the newly awakened Metroid powers.
Yep.
Okay.
Can you imagine what it'd be like to fight a power bomb Emmy?
Yeah, that'd be crap. I'm so glad that they decided to awaken the powers on that one, because Jesus, the moment you walk into the module, instant death. I'm like, really? I hope this is scripted and then it cut to a cutscene. I'm like, yes.
And then instead you fight another Chozo Soldier, which, okay, I'll be honest.
Take 100 times over.
I'll be honest. I think they should have reduced the ex-parasite soldiers, given us more robot soldiers, but nerfed them. I would have preferred if the robot soldiers were kind of like Metroid Prime 2's Commando Pirates, or the Chozo Ghosts, where it's like they're powerful minions that come in groups and, you know, sabotage you. And then you can keep the ex-soldiers as the boss fights. At least that's how I would have done it.
Right. Oh god. Still waking up. But let's see. Speaking of which, I will say the Chozo Soldiers have a really nice design.
They do. I like that it kind of explains the almost pill bug look to their armor that you often see in the Chorizo.
Yeah.
So now it's kind of like, in lore reason, we know why the Chorizo look the way they do. So So I thought that was neat.
You know, and this is what I thought, like I was thinking of the other day, where one person told me, dude, nobody could ever make a Metroid more gruesome than the Prime series. And I looked at him and I looked at him literally the other day and I told him, dude, you remember when you told me back then that nobody can make something more gruesome than the Prime series? Play Dread. There's these Chozo Soldiers that mutate, and dude, they literally split apart just to form a mouth.
That was messed up. That was some.
Oh,
By the way, like the X parasite in this game give me serious Resident Evil vibes.
right.
It's like the black
No.
sludge.
Dude, like, I know how earlier I was saying like half the game it just feels like Super Metroid, but when you get to that half where the X are finally released again, oh, it just brings back so many Metroid Fusion vibes. I mean, don't get me wrong, there was this one enemy where you beat him once, he mutates. You beat him again, he mutates into something freaking giant with the
Golzuna.
little, yeah, the one with the little electric organ drones just starts following you. But good grief, that's definitely X-Parasite material, because they would do something like this.
By the way, so this is an interesting little detail about the way this game operates in terms of its gameplay. Because like, if you look at something like the Prime games, they have a pattern. Look at something like Metroid Prime 2. There's 3 big regions. Each one has a collection of mini bosses and then one big boss. And then they all have their own dark reflections. So there's a pattern to it. Metroid Prime 3. Each planet has a bounty hunter boss and then a core guardian boss, and then you get like a phase-on reward from it. There's a pattern to it. And at the beginning of this game, by the time I got to Kraid, I thought to myself, so I see what they're doing here. Each region is going to have a central unit, an Emmy, and then a boss. And they're going to do that for all the locations. And that's going to be the game's formula. But then after beating Kraid, I find myself working my way into Ferenia, which is probably my favorite location in the game due to its regal medieval vibe. And that's when the game just kind of goes, no, that's not what we're doing. We're doing something totally different. Next thing you know, you're fighting Robot Chozo, you're fighting X-Parasite Chozo, you're fighting like fusion-style X-Parasite bosses where they turn into the Core X. You're fighting, giant tentacle monsters that slap you across the screen. The whole thing is just crazy. So...
yeah. I thought that at first, honestly, like, because I knew every Metroid game had a pattern, like you said. Then when it just, and here's the thing, I started to realize something just by the layout of the map. It was just,
I thought that was so strange. It was a giant L shape, basically. Have you noticed that? The map is a giant L. It made me wonder, like, was there supposed to be something on that right corner of the world map? Is this like a DLC thing they're gonna do?
Oh, dude, they put in DLC, yeah.
I actually wouldn't mind, like, a new region DLC with its own boss. I'd take it.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind that either. I would actually enjoy that.
Yeah, I'd take it.
Yeah, that's another thing, because we're in an age now where DLC is pretty common.
It's almost expected.
Yeah, so it wouldn't really surprise me if Metroid Dread ended up getting some DLC, but then again, it is Metroid, and it may not, but still, I wouldn't
I
mind it.
mean, Zelda's been getting DLC, so I wouldn't be surprised at this
Oh
point.
yeah. I mean, and the
I
DLC
mean,
is
I
just
sort of would.
amazing. I mean, though I'm a freaking top tier. I'm top of the line freaking Zelda fan, dude. I will go and get that DLC if it definitely if it's expansion on the game, because I've even got the like the freaking Onimusha Warlord copy cat Zelda games. The Hyrule Warriors.
Yeah.
And dude, I ain't gonna lie, it's not traditional Zelda, but it's still fun.
I actually have not played much Zelda. My brother was more the Zelda guy. I was the Metroid guy.
Well, if you want a real good impression, I always highly recommend Ocarina of Time and
Yep.
Majora's Mask.
Which, speaking of Ocarina of Time, the music for the final boss reminded me a lot of Ganondorf's battle music.
Da, da, da,
Sort of.
da, da,
I
da.
I think it would have been kind of funny. Actually, now that I think about it, Ravenbeak does laugh. He laughs and then gestures you to come and get him and crosses his arms and waits for you to go strike him, and then you have to do a counter event.
Epic Lettuce said Link's Awakening. Hello, Epic. How are you? It's CJ.
Ah, okay. Hey, CJ.
I And you know, I figured it out because at first he was fooling me, but then when he kept doing the Pepsi thing, that's like, oh, I know who this is. Link's Awakening. Yeah, that is true. Because wait, that's right. They did a remake of Link's Awakening, did they? It was for the 3DS, I think. No, they did one for the Switch also.
Hey, Phil.
What's that?
You're familiar with the Metroid manga, right?
Yeah, I actually looked through it a bit.
Did your jaw drop like mine did when Ravenbeak turned out to have wings?
I mean, considering his race, I wasn't too surprised, but I'm just like, oh shit, this dude's going freaking, he's going final form on us.
Well, it just reminded me of the Metroid manga where it's explained that the Chozo did have wings or used to use their wings, but as they became aged elders, they lost their use for them. And the
Because of your,
implication with Ravenbeak is like, yeah, he's still in his prime. No pun intended.
Yeah, that was another thing I was thinking to myself. It was like, well, clearly this guy, well, I mean, because he's like from a warrior tribe, so.
Yeah. It does kind of explain things because up to this point, the Chozo were just sages, from what we knew, and yet they did seem to have an element of warrior traits, even though they didn't use them. Samus did. So it kind of made you wonder, like, how did this come together? Well, it turns out there were these two tribes, and they had what I think was a loose alliance, maybe, because the Thoha did add an additional behavior into the Metroids where they were instinctively aggressive towards Malkin.
Yeah, considering that they were, they weren't too agreeable with what the other people were wanting.
Yeah. Also, do you remember in the past couple of episodes, I would describe Ravenbeak as Darth Chozo?
Oh, yeah.
Well, I think this makes sense now more than ever.
Yeah, I mean, considering how it just went.
Especially since you basically have a Samus I am your father moment.
That is true, I mean...
Old bird never told you what happened to your father. No, I am your father.
Yeah, I thought to myself, it was like, okay, where is he going with this? And then it just when it clicked, it was like, okay, so he was the reason we are all amped up.
Yeah. So it was both Grey Voice and Ravenbeak that used their genes to modify Samus. Her Chozo wisdom comes from Grey Voice, but her warrior element comes from Ravenbeak. So it's interesting. Samus is like the unity between the two tribes in a way. Yeah, I thought that was a neat little poetry right there.
Yeah, it's I that is the one thing I like about some of these games where they finally delve into like the origins of like this character.
Yeah.
Now if we can get that for Mario, um, because
I don't know what's happening in the Mario universe. I've no
I think
clue.
I think they do like with him, like they do with. This is me personally. I feel like they do with him, like they do with Link, except that it's not a separate Link every generation. It's actually the same dude, just like in one complete timeline. Um, but it's in different kinds of universes. Like in this one, he's a plumber, but he gets knocked on the head. He's actually in this magical land. Or in the cartoon, he had a magic mushroom with his brother, and they went to.
What?
No. I think it was a cartoon. It was the Super Mario like Super Show or something like that. Where there would be segments of two real actual people. One big dude that looked like Ron.
What?
Looked like that poor dude Ron Jeremy.
Okay.
He was a white dude with a broken mustache and a jerry curl. I mean, this dude, and how they had Luigi was like, oh my god, the guy is on death.
I'm not familiar with this.
Oh, dude. Okay, I gotta send you it. I have to now.
Yeah, of course.
It is the most amazing thing ever. Because I remember Nostalgia Critic actually doing a video on
Wait,
it.
is this the movie? The Mario movie they did?
Not the live action one.
No? Okay.
It's the cartoon one. It's like the Super Mario Super Show. I'm sorry. At the same time, while I'm looking at this, I'm kind of looking at my Nintendo membership to see what day I gotta pay it because okay, I actually got an update on the Switch, and you can separately get the Nintendo 64 pack if you want to.
Huh. I've heard some crazy stuff about that.
Yeah, they freaking, if you get like the whole pack of that, it's like it increases the price by a tremendous amount.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Yeah, I think, you know what, I know we're on a Metroid discussion, but I gotta comment on this.
Yeah, no problem.
It is by far, that is by far the most bizarre thing ever. I mean, okay, maybe if you add, okay, well actually, let me see. I need to see something real quick.
By the way, for those of you in the audience watching, if you haven't bought Metroid Dread yet, please do. That is an order. Insubordination will not be tolerated.
Okay, so mine isn't renewed until next year, the first of my birth month. Nice. Okay, so that's good. All right, now let's see if this works. So I guess you can get it separately and. Oh, wait. Nope, never mind. You need the actual expansion pack. Well, that blows.
Oh.
Okay, never mind. Our hopes were broken. Thanks, Nintendo. And anyway. God. So, yeah, I feel like that's too much just to add on. Okay, like, I feel like if you have the online pass, then you should at least, okay, if you maybe want to get all three of them, that should require the pass. But if you just want to get one, maybe like say the 64 bundle or the Sega Genesis bundle, that should at least maybe just up the price by maybe up to, I don't know, maybe 20 something, maybe 25, maybe $23 or something, if you want to go that route. But good grief, putting it up to like, what was it, 40? It was like 39.99, 40 something, up on the price just for 3 new things. 2 of them I really don't care for. I just want the freaking N64. But I just feel like it is a little bit too much. I mean, my renewal doesn't happen till next year, but I don't know. I don't know. I just still see it as a bit.
Yeah, it seems pretty steep.
Okay, let me. It's the Super Mario Super Show.
Alright, hold on. You know, I gotta look this up.
Oh, me no have Switch. Oh, I'm sorry. I forget about the Super Mario Super Show. It's so messy. Even CJ knows.
What on earth is this? Oh, oh boy. Oh, Mario needs a haircut.
Oh.
Oh boy.
No, man. Like I gotta put it. I gotta put in the desktop on this one. I got to.
You know what this looks like?
What?
This looks like one of those like lost episodes of a haunted show from my childhood repressed.
Man. Let's not go there. I'm tired of lost episodes.
Hyper-realistic Mario and Luigi showed up on screen
Jesus.
and started dancing. That's what that looks like.
Oh God.
Oh yeah, this is a Metroid video. I forgot.
I gotta. Okay, I understand, but I gotta. Oh man, I got to. I got to. This is too much. This is too much. Oh God. I gotta show.
Yeah.
I'm only gonna show like a clip of it on my live stream, but it's just.
By the way, for those of you guys on my end, if you're ever wondering what's going on, if things seem a little weird, just remember this is being recorded on another channel as well. This 2 birds with 1 stone situation.
Jesus. No. No. My God, they had a freaking like hip hop version of it on here. Oh Jesus Christ, why? No, like literally. Look at, just click on the first episode, the full length. All you gotta do is just watch the first 20 seconds of it, and you already know how disturbing it is.
Oh boy.
Oh Jesus! They even have an episode where they're in the frog suits. Yeah. Oh God Almighty! I gotta share this on my group. Oh, my brain hurts. I used to eat the Super Mario and Zelda cereal. Oh God, I forgot about the. Dude, they got freaking Super Mario gummies nowadays.
Wait, was this the show where Bowser was King Koopa?
Yes.
Oh, I saw this show. I did, but they didn't have the live action segments in it. Yeah, my brother had like a collection of these that he got for Christmas once.
Oh Jesus, like, dude, the first 20 seconds of this is just a nightmare. I mean,
it was a weird show. It was strange. But then again, this is a story about plumbers and mushrooms and turtles and pipes.
You know what? You know what? I have a question for you and for CJ in the chat.
All right.
Have you guys watched a video called Mario Tells Luigi the Truth?
Is this the one where like his high runs out and he realizes the street alley he's been living in?
No. This is something different. Okay, so Okay, so it's I think the guy's name is Vine Sauce, but he did the vocals on a Mario video because he was like playing like a modded version of Mario that was like really messed up. Not like the horror one, but it was like where everything was glitched out. It wasn't Mario.exe, don't worry. Uh,
Sounds like Mario RTX from Meat Canyon.
but oh god, don't get me started. But okay, so he was doing a whole bunch of this dialogue like, Luigi, I've been a plumber for 47 years. Do you think that I actually go to some Mushroom Kingdom, Luigi? I don't. I just trip really hard on LSD and I screw some prostitutes.
Oh boy.
Without a condom.
Oh.
It's no man. Okay. So there was a guy who made like an animated, like who did some animation for those vocals off of the video that he did, and it got me questioning because the animation style is similar. Actually, it's completely the same as I don't know if anyone's seen a cartoon show on Cartoon Network by the name of Chowder. If you haven't, look it up first and then look up Mario tells Luigi the truth. But Jesus Christ, I don't care about that. I don't care about what freaking nuclear weapons are going on. We're all gonna die anyway. But anyway.
All right. Well, this little intermission from the review confirms my belief that we should do like a weird Nintendo adaptations video or something at some point.
Yes.
On the topic of the game though,
yes.
Yeah.
That's good.
Now one thing that I still kind of stand by is I wish there was a little bit more uniqueness in the environments. Not amongst each other, but amongst other Metroid games, because they still kind of do like the lava area, jungle area, water area, the stuff we've seen on Zebes, basically. This feels like a reverse Zebes to me.
I think, yeah, because all of these facilities, I mean, I think we can confirm that Chozo probably made them. I mean,
who else?
Which honestly, I'm actually glad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because I'm tired of Federation. I'm tired of the Federation. I love the Federation. Actually, no, I think my number one favorite Federation character would have to be Admiral Dane from 4.
Yeah. Oh, he was great. You mean 3?
I mean, yeah. 3. Not 4 is not even 4 doesn't exist yet. But yeah, in 4. I mean, 3. Wow, I cannot talk.
You are excited for that new game, aren't you?
I am excited. I want Metroid Prime 4 so badly because I want to know what is it about. What are we doing? Why is Silex at the end of 3?
Oh man, I was gonna say something. Oh yeah. Okay, so the only real hint of the Federation that we get in Dread is the Emmy, because the Emmy are a Federation creation, or at least they hired. What it seems to be is they hired some kind of like galactic engineer corporation to build them. My thought is, who built these creepy, clawed, one-eyed things and went, "This looks promising. This is the image we want to represent in a galaxy of peace. This looks like something for research.
This is a machine we want a creature to see before we take its DNA."
By the way, its face turns into a giant syringe that stabs your neck.
Yeah.
May there be peace in the galaxy.
Dude, I won't lie. When we saw the original trailer, I didn't know it was through the neck. I thought it was straight up through the freaking face. I'm like, oh my god, no! The Reapers. The Reapers for Mass Effect made them.
Oh boy. Yeah, so when I saw the Emmy the first time in that one trailer, I thought they were gonna do like the game's all about these robots everywhere, not necessarily the Emmy alone, but just like a planet full of killer robots. That's not what it was, but it was fine. You know, I do like the idea of. I think this is the first Metroid game. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think this is the first Metroid game where it's about robots instead of aliens. You know, the first Metroid was your run-of-the-mill adventure with your big dungeon monsters. Then the second one was exterminating an alien species. Third one was the dungeon monsters, but on like steroids. And then Metroid Fusion was basically the thing. But now it's robots.
Yeah, I mean, well, dude, Metroid Fusion, yeah, you're right. It was kind of like the thing. I mean, you're finding some alien organism that can literally shape-shift into anything it chooses, and I just found it pretty odd, though, to decide to, like, well, I don't know. I felt like it was kind of lazy putting in some stuff that was already in there from like the past,
Like
from Metroid, like Super Metroid. Because I'm thinking like, didn't I fight this guy already in the last game?
what, Kraid?
No. I'm talking about like, okay, so you know in Metroid Fusion, there's a boss you fight. I call him the armadillo alien.
Oh,
but it's basically the one where you get your morph ball. You fight the same exact dude in Metroid, in Super Metroid.
No, not Super Metroid. It was Metroid 2 and Fusion. You're thinking of Arachnus, right? Arachnus, armadillo guy.
Yeah, I think so.
He rolls side to side in his arena.
Okay, because I could have sworn I seen him in Super Metroid.
In terms of Dread, though, I can't think of anything in Dread that was like that.
Yeah, I can't think of anything. Honestly, I can't think of anything disappointing with Dread at all. Well, actually,
there were a couple areas for me.
To me, there's actually only one, and I know I've already beaten the game, but I had kind of had to spoil myself for 100% ending. You don't particularly get like a cutscene or anything. You just get like artwork of Samus and her.
Yes, I was gonna say that. Like, it's strange because this is where it's almost like this game had an incredible budget. Like, they got to put in everything they wanted, but then by the time they got to like the end results system, it's like, oh shit, our budget's running out. So it's like, it doesn't matter how good you do, Samus appears the same at the end. Even though ever since the first Metroid game, she's always had like less armor or something based on how fast you beat the game. So I don't know why they just kind of stopped doing that here, or didn't at least change her suit. And yeah, I'm not really, I like the Chozo archives. I like the use of that to tell visual lore. But yeah, the artwork of all the past games for the end results, I just didn't think that belonged there. I think stuff like that should have been seen during the credits. And also,
yeah, you know, to give you a trip down memory lane, because you know this is like the ending of this storyline. So
yeah. Also, what a stinger to put other M in those rewards.
We do not talk about that.
Oh yeah, that I don't know what that game was. I've never heard of it.
Yeah, I don't. What's other M? Who's M? I don't know who M is.
Yeah, I only know Emmy, not other M. Yeah, I'm so glad that they only put in the mainline games in there.
Can I be honest?
And not
There's only
M.
one thing I like about other M, and it's the fact that they copied the death scream from Metal Gear Solid.
Samus, respond! Respond!
Yeah.
I kind of like the idea that like Adam's just sitting there and starts freaking out when Samus dies. It's like, oh no, I should have authorized her other abilities.
You know,
If
throughout
only.
the, I will say though, that game definitely explains, like, okay, so Samus has a bit of a weird quirk if you think about it.
What do you mean?
She's got an obsession with Adam at
Okay,
times.
so
I mean, I know that, it's not like for the AI that's on her ship. Um, I mean, it's not technically Alan, but it's his personality. So,
one thing I found out recently about Other M, and this was actually known for a while now, is that the story is drastically different in the Japanese version, but for whatever reason they changed a bunch of shit in the localization for the Western version.
oh shit, I think I need to get the Japanese version then.
Yeah, so basically her relationship with Adam in the Japanese version is um, Adam treats her like a child and she doesn't like that. So there's kind of this sort of back and forth between them throughout the game. And then it's not until like Adam dies where she kind of appreciates him a little more.
Okay, see, I feel like, all right, that's the thing though. I feel like that would have been better telling,
Yeah.
for every version of it, because I'm not gonna lie, I played Other M. It was annoying to me. I didn't specifically hate the gameplay. I just hate that they made Samus look like such a bitch. But
which just makes you think, what the heck did they do in localization?
yeah, I mean, like, she just sounded like she just had no personality. She was just like a constant bitch, and it was just like myself, like, okay, this isn't Samus. This is some freaking high school prep girl that just doesn't like to do shit. But it felt like the relationship with Adam and Samus in the version I played was just like straight up, okay, these two were married and then divorced.
It does feel like that.
I mean, they look like a divorced couple that just like they feel so awkward talking to one another.
By the way,
myself,
oh sorry, go on.
and I'm thinking to myself, like, dude, what is this gonna drag on? I know he's gonna die. I mean, Metroid Fusion already confirmed that, but at the same time, it's like, why did y'all make them like this? Like, okay, it's at one point, and I blame like you said, it's the Japanese version that actually makes it better telling. It's the freaking Western version. I hate being American anyway.
What do we do? What do we do to get this story?
Exactly. It's just like,
I thought Metroid was more popular in the West.
Right? Like, jeez. But I think the real problem was just the overall storytelling of it all, because I felt like it was just much confusion. Like, what exactly happened to him?
Metroid Confusion.
Yeah. Did he really die on that station?
By the way, can I just say that it's like they looked at Other M and went, okay, they don't like this, what do we do? And Mercury Steam, and look, Mercury Steam has had some controversy going around it, but they know Samus very well. Like, she was awesome in this game.
Dude, like, even with the, okay. Like, that freaking that low tone personality where she's just, she's confident in everything she does. They obviously got that from freaking Prime, from the other 3 games, because when she was just, dude, like, okay, they had only one line with her in the game. They had her only do one set of lines
And it was
in
Chozo.
Dread, and it was in
I
Chozo
love
language.
that,
It
man.
was in alien
It's
language, and
like
I'm thinking to
fucking
myself
fans.
like,
See, because here's the thing. Metroid Dread delivers on a lot of things that I've wanted. So I've talked to you about this before, but I had my personal idea for a Metroid game, and what I wanted for this game was to take place on like a sort of like gothic Chozo warrior world, which is exactly what we got here. Um,
right?
and another thing I wanted from Samus was her to be more attached to her roots of the Chozo, because those are the ones who raised her. You know, it just seeing Samus so affiliated with Adam and stuff, it just doesn't make much sense to me. So it was so wonderful to hear her speak in their avian tongue.
Yeah, because I thought to myself like, oh wow, this is crazy. Because it definitely shows you how developed she is with their culture. Um, considering that they raised her for the rest of her life and trained her, but I think like they tuned into Samus's like inner badass like they did in the previous games. Because when she just woke up during the last fight and she grabbed Ravenbeak's face, just turning into like a, he turned
Super
in,
Saiyan.
she literally went like freaking super, no pun intended. She went Super Metroid and
She
just
did.
straight up started like grabbed on the dude's face. When she was just yelling the whole time,
That
I was
was
like, okay,
great.
yeah, this is a badass Samus right here.
Oh.
Like she did a freaking full on Saiyan yell, turned into, literally had her armor turned into freaking freaking Metroid Kaiten style armor, and just started like kicking the dude's ass just by grabbing onto his face. And I'm thinking to myself like, oh my god!
Oh
If
man,
you do not
that was
like
fan
the game,
surface in the
okay,
best way
if you've
possible.
gone through, this is for someone. I hope you look at this and I hope you take this to heart. If you play through this whole game and you go through all these experiences and you get to that point where you finally kick this dude's ass and you still don't like the game, dude, there's something wrong with you. You need to delete the game. You need to throw away your Switch.
Well,
And
hold on, we don't want people to take a David Joff route.
ooh, that is right. But
I mean,
yeah,
he's
there's
got
still
credit
something
to
wrong
his
with you.
name, but yeah, there was a whole thing going on with David Jaff in that one room.
I heard that Bowser did some wrong things also. I literally saw the news on that like earlier today, and I'm like, wait, what?
What, like Mario Bowser? Like
No. Okay, so they had a guy working with him. I think he was like an executive or something that worked with Nintendo of America, but his last name was Bowser.
oh, okay.
Yeah, apparently he was convicted of like hacking attempts against Nintendo's like servers.
Oh, okay.
And he used to like work for them. Like they had a whole going away video for him also. And so he
Wow.
was like apparently a big important deal at Nintendo. I'm thinking like me and Cole were laughing when we saw this. I'm like, oh my god, you can't be serious. Oh, and I'm thinking to myself like, dude, like, apparently you must not have fully loved your job like you said you did, because you'd go and do that. Oh boy.
Yeah, oh boy, indeed.
Mm-hmm. But
Have you?
I feel I do strongly encourage anyone to just like, you know what? If you didn't like the trailer, okay, I get it, but dude, like, give the game a chance. It is just pure fun.
And by the
It'll
way,
get on you. It'll get on you at times, but it is pure fun.
there are some requirements to play though. One of them is you do have to be at least a little bit familiar with the Metroid formula to really sink in it. Another one is you need a Nintendo Switch. And the third one, and probably the most important, is you have to be a masochist.
Yes.
Because those boss fights, they are no
Um,
joke.
they are brutal, especially the I forgot what it was called experiment something, but
Experiment
it was the one.
Z57.
It was not the one that could cloak, but it was the other one where
Yeah,
oh god, that one
the
was
one that
just
shot the
crazy.
laser from its
Yeah, the
mouth.
freaking wing full on Godzilla kaiju here with the goddamn atomic breath.
I remember. Okay, so here in Canada, the weekend that Metroid Dread came out, that was our Thanksgiving weekend,
Mm-hmm.
which means I had a 3-day weekend to play Metroid Dread.
Oh
I
Jesus.
I spent I came home from work Friday and I played all the way until Kraid. The next day I visit some family and then I come back and I play until like 4 or 5 in the morning. And then the following day after, I'm fighting the experiment, and I take a break to basically just have this entire Thanksgiving meal, just so I can get the energy and get back in and fight this boss. And then that night, I beat the game. And then the following day, my thumb was swollen, and I couldn't play.
Oh. Oh my god.
The game injured my thumb because I fought so hard on these bosses that I had to take a break on Monday off. But it was worth it. It was worth it.
Um.
Oh,
Yeah. Oof. That kind of reminds me of how Devil May Cry 3 originally was. You had to literally spam that button if you wanted like the perfect follow up, like the multi stinger. Oh my god, that thing! I have never actually no. There was a time I can't remember. I think it was during Metroid Prime 2. I was fighting one boss fight, and you had to continuously like keep. Okay, I already told this phone to shut up. I don't know why it went off again, but anyway, um, I I think it was like you had to continuously like move around the joystick just to get out of something, and I kept getting caught because, of course, being the me just being the guy to just say, hey, let's do it on this now. I had to play the game on hard mode. I forgot which boss it was, but when it latches onto you and you're trying to get out, oh my god, it is infuriating because he keeps latching onto you, latching onto you, latching on you. And my thumb was swollen after that. Keep in mind, it also didn't have the rubber padding because I'd worn it out so much. It
oh
was
man.
down to the pure plastic and the edges were pieced off where it could cut into your thumb. I was scared to even play the game after that until I got a new controller.
Oh,
Like,
it takes a
dude,
special kind of game to do that.
exactly, and that shoot.
And by the way, I did not play this game's first playthrough handheld. I made absolutely sure to dock it and connect it to the big
Yes,
screen and turn off
yes,
all
you
the
did.
lights.
Oh yeah, I did. When I played it on stream, nope, you got played on the big screen. You
I
can't do the handheld.
because this is my inner nerd way of celebrating things. I spent like half an hour or all the time that it took installing the game. I cleaned off my entire living room table and just covered it in all my Metroid merch.
Oh god.
I've got all the amiibos. I have the arm cannon from GameStop. Um, yeah, I got a ton.
Oh, that
Yeah,
reminds me. One other piece of Metroid Dread we gotta mention: the music.
yeah. I
The
think it's
music. Oh,
yeah.
when you hear that title entrance, of course, the same thing as always, but good grief, this one just sends you chills.
Yeah, that definitely had like this hollow eeriness to it. I have a weird feeling about the music in this game though. It's like I listen to it, it's solid, it's good, there's a rhythm, a catchiness to it, but it doesn't stick with me most of the music.
Nintendo thumbs are a real thing.
I don't understand. It's like it's not as memorable as I would expect Metroid music to be, yet the music's fine. It's up there. It's quality. I don't know, maybe I need the tracks to sink in a little longer, you know?
Um, I will say I like the title theme, but I gotta say my favorite has to be the theme of Super Metroid. Um, just remade for this game because I don't know, just how they just edited in, like how they made it fade into the intro, like boom, 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 boom,
Yeah.
boom, boom, like just that dark, just like that deep. It sounds like bass. It's just you can really feel it in your ears.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Um, and then another returning song you have is Brinstar Deaths, which is playing on my video right now, actually. Or,
Nice.
or in the context of Metroid Dread, Quiet Robe's theme. One of our two Chozo characters. Also, I want to note something. Do you remember in our first episode, I said that I think it'd be really cool if the final boss was like a Chozo warrior in ritual combat?
And we got
Well,
that.
another thing, I got exactly what I wanted.
We got that.
And by the way, that was a kick-ass final boss. Oh, I love that.
A kick-ass final boss that could kick your ass.
I think my favorite move from the final boss is where he puts his gun up in the air and he basically forces you to go right next to him to avoid his attack.
Then tries to follow up with
Yeah.
like a melee combo.
Yeah, so you gotta book it out of there the moment he stops the attack. I thought that was super creative.
You do not want to get cut. Like that's the thing you got to put. Like we have to make a PSA on this. Do not get caught in this guy's combo. You lose a ton of health over it.
Now, of all the bosses in Metroid Dread, there's only one that has just truly stopped my progress. There's only one. It is the Elite Chozo Soldier, the gold one.
Oh, yeah.
Before the final boss. He's the one that has just ruined me. Above all the other bosses. And you know what it is? You know what it is? It's him jumping on the wall and shooting like the black slime.
Oh, that, yeah.
That's the, like, if I watch someone play that boss fight on YouTube, I get like PTSD just looking at it. My dodging, dash instincts kick in, avoid that attack.
Right.
No other boss gives me that sense of dread.
It's kind of funny though. When I played him, I actually thought to myself, okay, so this guy's kind of gonna be like the last guy, and in a way it was because it was just like, but I noticed that his was a little bit faster.
Yeah. Well, he psychs you out. Like, he'll jump down into the arena and then jump right back up on the other wall.
Yeah, I'm just thinking to myself, oh crap. But when it came to the slime attack, I was just thinking to myself, like, okay, so I figured out that, like, it was around the time I actually figured out the pattern. I figured, okay, he's gonna be looking at you for a quick second before he does it. The moment he curls up his mouth, that's when you gotta jump.
Yeah.
Like, and if you want to try to get in a high place, which since now you got the space jump and the screw attack, that's gonna be easy. But now it's like, okay, you have straight up, you have the oh, excuse me. You have the means to avoid him. Now you just got to time it right. I figured if you want to make him aim to the ground, all you got to do is just wait for his lips to curl up, just stand there, and then boom, just jump. But in the air, it's a little tricky. You gotta time that right, because you're watching where you're going, but at the same time, you're making sure he's not trying to do anything funny, because, like you said, he could psych you out.
Yeah.
The moment he was like his head will follow you, and the moment he curls up that mouth, oh, that's when you just gotta stop. Like, don't even touch the button anymore.
I should have made better use of my Samus stress ball. That's made to look like a morph ball. Yeah.
Dude,
everyone needs one of those for this game. Everyone needs a stress ball.
And then there's the Samus cosplayers. There's the Samus body pillows.
I love.
Which are actually real.
Of course they are.
Then there's the Samus mouse pads, which I'll give you a guess. What's that about?
I thought that was weird for a Switch game. It's like, all right, guys, we have this new Metroid Dread merch. Here's a mouse pad for a Switch game. Is that an encouragement to emulate it? Is that what this is? Which, by the way,
emulate something, all right.
Which, by the way, I heard is actually really good. Apparently, Metroid Dread looks really good emulated. Buy the game first, though. Everyone watching, buy the game and then emulate it. Don't pirate it. This game deserves the help.
Oh yeah, definitely, man. This game is amazing. Me personally, I would only emulate a game I can no longer get. Like
for example, you can emulate or you can pirate, I guess, Metroid Fusion, and it's like, well, Nintendo hasn't made that available. Like, you got to make that available for people.
See, and that's also and I hate to say it, that also goes back to the topic of the expansion pack for online being too much. Guys, Nintendo, I'm gonna say this directly to you and to you personally, because well, you may not see this, but hopefully if you do, this will be some advice. You make the price too high, you're kind of giving them a reason to pirate it.
Yeah, it's true.
I mean, look, because here's the thing, you simply just add on the 64 bundle and the Sega Genesis. Don't make it like... Actually, let me turn my Switch back on. Let me see how much it exactly was. Oh, wait. Alright, I gotta go to my membership and see that, but... Actually, no, just go online and do it. But, let's see, because I'm going on here right now. The expansion, if I can find it. The expansion is... It better not make me automatically buy it. I'm about to be pissed. I just clicked on where to find it on the store. Alright, I must go. I hope I get to play Metroid sometime. I am so lost, but it's fun to hear. We recommend start with the original.
Maybe Zero Mission?
Yeah, actually, never mind. Start with Zero Mission first.
I don't know if I'd introduce people with the original NES Metroid.
Yeah, that is true. People were confused back then. Everyone thought, hey, the dude's name is Metroid. No.
Yeah, start with Zero Mission, then Samus Returns, then I'd get to Super Metroid. Well, actually, you know what? Maybe start with Zero Mission. Decide if you like Metroid before you take the journey.
Because if I remember right, Zero Mission is basically the first Metroid remade.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's individual membership is okay. Here's the prices for the individual membership of Nintendo Switch Online plus expansion pack individual membership, blah 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 blah. I apparently have some kind of discount, but it is $49.99.
Oh man.
Now, that's if you want an individual. Now, if it's the family pack, ooh, that's $79.99.
Oh.
Yeah,
What the hell?
I know, like,
Oh,
here's the
yuck.
thing. Here's the thing. It's just, and that's just for year long.
Oh.
But see, and that's the thing, guys. I mean, you're giving people a reason to pirate your games. I mean, okay, so believe it or not, people who have seen my channel in the past on YouTube, even though I went under a different name instead of Phil's Clips, um, I actually played some emulated games, like for the Nintendo 64, GameCube. I got them from a site called MU Paradise, but ever since then, they took all the actual core Nintendo games off.
Man.
Like you can still get emulated games on there, but they took off all the core ones, like Mario, Zelda, and Metroid, um, whatever was like made like a Nintendo directed brand.
Hmm. Damn.
Yeah, and yeah, it's just you guys are giving them the reason to like illegally try to get something, so uh shoot. I mean, it's a once a year thing, but it's still too much.
That is pretty crazy.
Mm-hmm. And here's the thing, I just wanted the Nintendo 64 pack. That's it. I don't care for Animal Crossing. I don't really care that much for the Sega Genesis because I never really played it much. And plus it's already got a game that I can easily play on my Xbox. It's got Streets of Rage, so it's Sonic. Well, shoot, you could pull that up anywhere on the internet and play it. But dude, for Nintendo 64, let's see, because right now, excuse me, for right now they have Super Mario 64, which I already got the HD collection for the Switch, so I'm good on that. But they also got Star Fox 64, Mario Kart 64, Yoshi's Story, The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, which was my main reason for getting this. But here's what I feel like they should do. If you don't want the whole pack, at least sell it individually. For someone who just wants maybe Sega Genesis, or who wants just Nintendo 64, or who just wants the Animal Crossing DLC.
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like this needs to be separate. Put it separate. Don't put it as one big bundle, because that's one thing I don't like about, like, I get this is an online pass, but at the same time it's like, actually, shoot, I can see the games that are on.
By the way, like half of all the Metroid fans have been saying they now want Ravenbeak for Smash.
Sadly, we don't got him. We got the dude from
Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah,
Which I know Justin will be happy about that.
Oh yeah, Justin, he's always happy about Kingdom Hearts. Shoot, dude, the guy legit made a freaking penis rocket on Kingdom Hearts 3.
Did he?
Yeah, I still remember that live stream. Heck, I got the clip of it saved on my PC.
Oh, you'll have to send that to me sometime.
Shoot, I'll send it right now. The dude, like, legit made a penis rocket ship. I'm thinking to myself, dude, what are you doing? What are you doing? Like,
oh man.
I love me some Justin now, but brother, you being sus.
Just to kind of scrape us back to Metroid again.
Right.
So, did you have like a favorite region in that game?
I'm not gonna lie, I actually forgot the names, but
All right,
it'd have to
it's hard.
be the first rain region.
Barinia,
I think that was it.
the water place.
Yeah, I'm always a fan of like water places.
Actually,
Um,
I know most people don't like water regions in game, but I heard a lot of people found this one to be the exception.
oh, they found this one the exception. um, let's see. I would say, well, here's the reason why. I mean, because I always find like the water regions to be like pretty, let's see, what would be the right word? Unique, in my opinion, because you don't get a lot where you can actually like just dive down into the water and freely walk in there.
Yeah.
I mean, even Doom Eternal doesn't do that.
So
You just get to swim, but you don't get to dive deep and walk in there.
let me see if I can remember all the names. There's Arteria. There's Catarus, Daron, Barinia, Ferenia, Gavoran, Delun. What's above Ferenia? It was Hanubia. And then there's Itorash. That's all of them.
There's a lot of Oz with these names, though, if you think about it.
They're so similar, man. They're so similar.
Damn, I thought I had it. It's here somewhere.
Barinia, Meridia, Arteria, Criteria. Oh yeah, they all have a similar sound to them. By the way, people have actually been figuring out the Chozo alphabet thanks to this game.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And it's thanks to this game that we've been learning like the Chozo words for a lot of things. For example, Ravenbeak's name is I think it's Ashkar Behek in Chozo. Even ZDR actually has a Chozo name. Let me look it up.
I can't find it. Shit.
So apparently, in Chozo, the planet ZDR is named Li Tarin Nalima. According to the Wikitroid, at least.
Okay.
As for my favorite region, I think I said it earlier in this video. I can't remember. It was Ferenia because of its medieval vibe. It reminds me a lot of as I said before, the Jedi Temple from the Star Wars prequels. It gives me a similar vibe to that. Because everything we've had before with the Chozo, for the most part at least, has been very... it's been either very industrial, or it's been very, like, old and ruinous, with, like cobble walls and stone statues, that kind of thing. This is the first time where we see an actual, like, almost royal environment for the Chozo in this game. And I thought that was great. If there's one environment that I wish was stood out a little more, it would be Hanubia, the surface of the planet. I wish we saw a little bit more of the surface landscape and the sky. Just because the raininess of it reminded me of the water location Hanubia a little bit too much. But one person on the Facebook page for Metroid pointed out something really intriguing about Hanubia. So there's a certain, oh yeah, so there's a certain part there where you can actually see a pair of Chozo ships docked. Alright, they're docked. You go, you fight Ravenbeak, you beat the final boss, and then you start your escape sequence. When you go through that area, the ships are gone. So, yes. I'm thinking some of these ex-Chozo may have escaped. So that's something. That's something to think about right there. That could tell us a bit about the future of Metroid.
Yeah.
If the X starts spreading like star-based, that could be a huge problem. Could have another Phazon type situation again. What else? By the way, when I saw the promotional material for this game, I was just slightly annoyed that they were going for another like power suit, various suit, gravity suit thing again. And I was really hoping, like, is there going to be like a fourth suit, like the Phazon suit from Prime? And they did something like that. They did something like that for sure.
Oh, they sure did.
That Metroid suit was the coolest thing I've seen in years.
You know what though? If they do make DLC, they ought to make it to where it's another full story, and that the Metroid suit is like a form ability you could turn into for a short duration of time.
I hope that becomes a mechanic for like future Metroid games.
That would be cool.
Yeah, like I don't know, recharge your Metroid suit, become the ultimate hunter or something like that.
Right.
Whew. So long as they don't pull like a hyper mode situation with Prime 3, where everything was either really hard or really easy.
Yeah, at first it was fun, and then later on they decided, hey, let's put in the mechanic where it's going to kill you if you use it too much.
Yeah.
Like, dude. I ain't gonna lie, that's the one thing that pissed me off for 3. I'm like, I get that it's like a corruption kind of thing, but it's like, come on, man. Why is it gotta go for Samus? I mean, I get that it's Dark Samus that's doing all the damage, but dude, Dark Samus was basically born from Samus if you think about it.
Yeah.
I mean, that dang Metroid Prime just doesn't want to quit, so hey, it thought of the next best thing. Let's become the thing that just took me out.
Also, you said born from Samus, which kind of gave me a family vibe for a second. And that made me realize something. Samus's lineage of parental figures has grown even more now. Okay.
Jesus.
Okay, so we'll start with the mother figures. There's her birth mother, Virginia Aaron. And then Mother Brain is self-proclaimed Samus's symbolic mother in the manga. So those are her mother figures, alright? Now, her father figures. There's Rodney Aaron, who was her birth father. Then, she was raised by Old Bird and Grey Voice, her gay bird parents. Then, there was Adam Malcolm Finch, who was a father figure to her in her Federation days. And now, we have Ravenbeak, another surrogate father, alongside Grey Voice. Holy jeez. That's
She got too many father figures.
Too many. It's gonna be like a Dr. Phil episode
Oh no.
where it's like, all right, we're gonna figure out who the real father is now. Ravenbeak, you've been described as choking your daughter. No, what do you have to say about that? Hadas and Olman. I see. Yes,
Dude,
indeed.
dude, imagine they had like some show like Steve Wilkos. They throw chairs because one dude's getting pissed off, and then the other dude's getting pissed off. Like, oh no.
Oh boy.
Like, I can see freaking. I can see Steve yelling at the freaking Ravenbeak. Ravenbeak just gets up, throws a chair, it's like, Ukalitsuka!
Oh god.
Oh god, I gotta see that.
That'd be the best thing in the world. Well, I was thinking about this the other day. What would happen if you put Samus, Ravenbeak, and Ridley in one room? Like,
Oh, no.
what would happen?
Well, I think if we could translate to English for Ravenbeak for just a quick second, we can possibly put Alien Dragon, you are weak.
Probably.
I mean, well, let's face it. At this point, Ridley has become. He is still a memorable boss, but dude, he is a joke to someone like Ravenbeak, because he has been killed by Samus multiple times, has become a robot and been killed by Samus multiple times, became a cyborg and got killed by Samus multiple times, and then even in Metroid Prime 3, he got infused with Phazon and got killed.
On this topic, I would actually like to bring up Ridley for a second, because there has been some discussion about Ridley regarding Metroid Dread. And to all the people who are disappointed that Ridley's not in the game, you know, I would like to refresh you that there's actually very few Metroid games where Ridley is in it. The exceptions being Metroid 2 Return of Samus, Metroid Prime 2 Echoes, Metroid Prime Hunters, Metroid Prime Federation Force.
Oh god, that one we did
And,
not speak of. God.
And
Look, okay,
I think that's it.
I'm sorry to cut you off. It's just I'll be honest. I will play Other M over Federation Force any day. I can. I tried it. I was like, well, I'm gonna go jump off a bridge.
My problem with Federation Force, I thought the gameplay was fine up until they suddenly start demanding co-op, where it just becomes unplayable for a single player. I also hated the lore by a passion.
Oh god.
What was the point in having like a giant grow serum when everyone else became bigger? Like
that, and then they made Samus a boss, which was so awful.
They turned her into a giant ball. What was the point?
And then they killed her.
Well, they didn't kill her, but
well, I mean,
they beat her.
Smashed.
They defeated her.
But, no, I mean, like, not the. I'm talking about afterward, like when the freaking building came down and she got crushed.
No, she escaped. At least from the cutscenes I saw. Remember, this takes place after Metroid Prime 3.
See, this is how awful we thought it was. Like, we just watched the cutscenes. We didn't even get that far.
I literally couldn't get that far, man. The game would not allow me to get further.
I'm sorry, but when you demand co-op in a game in certain sections, that's when you just lose the value of
I just want to know
excitement.
I just want to know like, I can at least look at Other M and be like, okay, you wanted something more story-oriented, to explore the character we've been following for so long. But
Here's the thing.
I can't make an excuse for Federation Force. What were they thinking?
I can't either, dude. Like, here's the thing. I can give Metroid Other M a pass because the gameplay is actually enjoyable, and it's like Metroidvania style in a bit, but they give a new take on it at certain sections. Like, and I do like how you can go into first person mode just like in Prime and straight up just like use it. The only thing I hated was that you couldn't move in first person, and I was like, that's how I wanted to play it. I ain't gonna lie. I mean, and the thing is, because I love the immersion that they do in first person, like the HUD, the helmet, like everything is just pretty cool. I mean, dude, I won't even lie. Even after Doom Eternal, and because you know you still get the HUD, but you have no helmet outline. I actually played Metroid Prime a couple times, and I turned the HUD off, the helmet offline, and just played with just the HUD.
Mhm.
And it's just like it. When you have that, it feels all right. But I think it's a little bit better in the Wii version because then you have those little digital outlines surrounding the outer borders of the screen.
Yeah.
That are in the shape of the helmet outline. I was thinking to myself, okay, this looks a lot better, especially if you use the different visors like the X-ray and thermal.
Mhm.
Oh god, I just like the but yeah, it's definitely a lot more immersive with the helmet visor on.
That is
Or the
actually
helmet outline on, I should say.
that actually does bring me up to one thought I had. And it was the Aeon abilities in this game.
Oh, that's right.
So, what I thought was interesting is that the Aeon abilities represent the three types of gameplay in Metroid Dread. There's the exploration, the combat, and the stealth. The exploration, you have, I think it's called the pulse radar. Is that what they called it? Yeah.
Yeah, which, oh my god, is so useful.
Yeah, like that's the thing. In Samus Returns, they had that. They gave it to you early, but you had to toggle some buttons to use it, and you needed fuel to use it, because that's how Aeon abilities worked in that game. So you pretty much never used it. But now they've modified it so you have to recharge it. It uses all your Aeon, and you can't go around using other abilities while it's active. And it's just from the push of a button. So they just made it so much more useful in this game.
Yeah. I mean, dude, I just love it because there are times where I've had to backtrack and like find secrets in the past games, but this one's just, and most of them are well hidden. But with this one, it's just like, oh my god, now I know where everything is. It just makes my job so much easier, just so I can like, okay, now I can get all these upgrades. I can go back and kick Ravenbeak's ass again. But this time, I'll have more of this because he won't instantly hurt me. Dude, I realized when I got to the final boss, okay, so there are times I do this thing in Metroid games where I play through the whole game, and if I see an upgrade, I get it. I just go straight forward with whatever. And then when I reach the final boss, I try to find whatever I can. I messed up. I didn't do that this one.
No?
No, I didn't because I was so anticipated on fighting him. I didn't realize that, oh my god, he actually is this tough. No, you know what? Fuck it. People want to say that the Marauder on Doom Eternal is a black belt. Dude, no. This dude was a black belt on steroids.
And a red cape.
In a red cape with
Terrible
wings.
joke. Terrible joke
Like,
on my part.
Dude, it's just like, the dude was like, okay, this dude makes the Marauder look like a bitch. I mean, like, the Marauder has an axe, has a super shotgun on his waist, can freaking expand the axe to do other kinds of attacks, can summon a freaking spectral wolf. This guy has an arm cannon, has a whole bunch of fighting movesets, can easily erase your ass with just one blast.
Also, can we
King
talk?
Foreman?
Can we mention the fact that Ravenbeak is basically as tall as a Baron of Hell from Doom?
Yeah, I mean that's another thing. That's another thing. Like he's also as tall as a Baron, and he's faster than a Marauder. He's like, dude, he's faster than Doom guy.
I want to talk about the first time I learned about the true Metroid lore. I was 12 years old. I had trouble falling asleep this summer night, and I pulled out the booklet, the like special edition booklet for Metroid Prime Trilogy, and it had the synopsis for like the whole origin story of Samus leading all the way into the end of Prime 3. And this was where I first learned about the Chozo and that they were bird people. And for whatever reason, I thought to myself, oh, they must be huge. They must be gigantic. I don't know why I thought that, but I did. And it turns out, yeah, they're actually pretty big in person. It's funny to think that. Funny how these things come around like that.
Yeah, I mean, because Dread's really the only one where you see a live Chozo.
Yeah.
Like,
I know some people who are gonna flip at this. In a good way.
Oh yeah. Yeah, because it's like you've always seen their architecture on different planets. You always see what they're about, but you never got to actually see them until now. And I thought that was a pretty good build-up because, shoot, I'll be honest, it reminded me of how they did, like, I know it's like a different kind of thing, but it reminded me of how the people who did the Avatar series built up the Fire Lord.
Yeah.
Like, they hid his face. You've seen his figure through every other season until the final one where it was finally revealed of what he looks like. And the dude, he was not a good man. He was pure frickin' evil.
No, he was a piece of shit. He was pretty bad.
Yeah, he was really bad. And then you finally get to, after every Metroid you've played, Prime series, the original storyline, even the spin-offs, if that's your pleasure, I don't care. You finally get to Dread, you finally see what these people look like, and it's just, your question is now answered. Are they actually bird people? Because there were some people who thought, like, okay, this was just a group of people, but they prayed like bird gods or something. That was like a couple theories I got when I was playing Metroid back in the day, but yeah, one friend of mine, he thought, like, okay, the Chozo are a group of aliens that worship these, like, these hawk gods.
I like the idea.
Oh yeah, I mean, he wouldn't be far off. I mean, yeah, the Chozo are basically hawk people, but at the same time, their gods could possibly be bird-like. I mean, after all, you have Christianity on this planet, and they always say that, God, we're made in God's image. Yep. God was a human. Although you look at the angels in Christianity, they're nothing like, they're nothing like people.
Just once again, calling back to the first episode we did on this game, I made a little joke about how the Chozo General was going to be like Devoth from Doom Eternal, the Dark Lord.
Oh gosh.
Well, it seems that too is confirmed now.
A little bit more aggressive than Devoth, but yeah.
I mean, he is on, like, Ravenbeak is on some level Samus's creator, or one of them.
Yeah. Yeah, one of two.
The suit was designed by Mother Brain. What?
Ooh, that is right.
Yeah. Sorry, you were gonna say something.
I'm sorry. It's just a really messed up thought in my brain because, okay, many people probably don't know this because the first game was exclusive on PC. But in the Hitman series, the Assassin 47, he was actually created by I think it was either 7 or 8 different male scientists.
Oh, okay. I haven't played the game, so this is new to me.
Yeah, his origin is so don't believe the movies because the movies are they always alternate it, but especially that first live action movie, he was not an orphan raised in a facility. He was genetically created by a group of scientists. I forgot what their motives were, but it was definitely something not good. But yeah, 47 was was the first perfected clone. And then many years passed later, and then because he couldn't remember anything ever since he escaped, but he went back to the facility in the first game and basically massacred everyone. The doctors, all of his quote unquote brothers, which are basically a whole bunch of 47 clones, just branded a different number. But yeah, it's kind of a it's definitely a good thing on how you don't mess with genetics. But in Samus's case, it's different because she wasn't genetically birthed from them, but she was definitely given Chozo DNA from them. So
Yeah.
yeah, I just got a Hitman flashback when I saw that. Okay, Ravenbeak was involved with her process into becoming part Chozo. So yeah, that's very lovely.
See, I'm just kind of imagining the way that scene went down. I couldn't help but imagine, the Thoha, Grey Voice, and Old Bird kind of being like, is this such a good idea? Should we add warrior DNA in her? And then, the door opens and Ravenbeak is like, it is I! You can trust me! Nothing bad will come of this.
At least it's explained after all these years of why every freaking Metroid you encounter was always a hostile bitch.
Yeah.
I mean, why is it that, and I've noticed this too, it's because even in the Prime games, they mostly targeted you. Mm-hmm. They ignored that pesky space pirate that was right across the ridge full of Phazon. No, they went directly for you.
Well, because of you're talking about the Metroids, right?
Yes.
Yeah. That's a good point, actually. Yeah, that would definitely explain the Metroid hostility to you.
But then, here's the thing, though, because they said that they can sense that DNA in her and automatically become hostile towards them.
Oh, yeah, and then not to mention, Samus should have some limited level of control with the Metroids, which, now that I think about it, would her Thoha genes have helped her with the baby Metroid?
Yeah, I was actually just about to ask that.
Holy shit, I just realized that.
Because I was thinking to myself, okay, well then how come the baby Metroid wasn't hostile to her back in all those years ago?
Maybe it was so easily influenced by the Thoha genes. It being so young. As opposed to something like the larger Metroids on SR388 were unable to be controlled. That's why the Thoha had to retreat. They didn't anticipate those mutations, which I still think is due to the Aeon energy on SR388, but we have no official confirmation on that.
It could probably be that. I mean, yeah, because it was kind of explained that originally the Metroids weren't supposed to mutate like that. Mm-hmm. But hey, they ended up doing it anyway, and
they did.
Oh god, if they thought those were terrifying, they should have seen what Phazon did to it. It gave it a person's face.
I'm left thinking there are probably other Chozo tribes out there in the galaxy.
I'm thinking there mostly is. I mean,
I mean, let's remember
There couldn't-
Talon 4.
Oh yeah, I mean it was obviously confirmed
The
that there were like
the
separate kinds of tribes going on, especially on because yeah, it was discussed that the inhabitants that were on Talon 4 they were killed off because of phazon poisoning.
I feel like they were probably a kind of like a split off from the Thoha is what is the implication I got. And they
They tried to be
abandoned
their
this.
own separate
Yeah,
tribe.
they abandoned all the science and tech of the Thoha and basically became bird hippies. And as a result, they got more in touch with nature, and their ability to have visions came back.
Oh god, bird hippies.
It's basically what they were on Talon.
I can see a Chozo right now with a freaking peace sign and a tie-dye t-shirt on.
See, I'm just imagining a Chozo with like dreadlocks and glasses. Hey, bro,
No,
what's up?
considering their style, tie-dye robes.
Whoa, like the Makin gotta chill, man. Come on. Put
They got
down
their
the
own creation of weed.
put down the arm cannon and join the fandom. Or something along that. Oh god,
God.
face on weed. Face on weed. Anything that goes near it is like hopelessly high forever.
Every time you go into hyper mode, you're getting really hyper.
Turns out that the reason why Metroid Prime was sleeping in its lair when you first see it was that it was just having a huge snooze from its high.
You dare interrupt my slumber and don't bring potato chips? Oh my god, I could see like that in the voiceover, like
Holy
if
shit!
somebody-
I think I like have a human face or something.
You know, that's one thing I never got about the Metroid Prime's design.
Neither
like,
did I.
Why a human face? Like, why didn't you just give it? Okay, like, I'm not saying it's bad. It's a very amazing design of a creature, but it's at the same time, I guess it's to add that creep value. Like, I can understand that, but at the same time, it's still like, why did it form a person's face? I mean,
Yeah, I think that was just a
and
stylistic thing.
And shoot, that wasn't even the mouth. The bottom of it was the mouth.
Yeah, that was weird. That was really weird.
I thought it was really cool though how it could like switch into like different different attacks judging on the beam you had, which let's be honest, when that thing hit the plasma beam and then you just threw on the flamethrower, oh god, it was basically screwed at that point.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
It's
actually, scratch that, because I just remembered, Metroids are not accepting of the cold. So when it went to frickin' ice beam, no, that's when it got screwed.
Yeah. I had this thought on me for a while tonight. That boss fight against Kraid, that's basically the final end to the space pirates in that one boss fight.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, Kraid's like the only one left, so
He surpassed Mother Brain, he surpassed Ridley. Kraid was all that was left, and in that one boss fight we ended the space pirates.
yeah. I mean,
As far as we know.
I mean, the space pirates were basically done, and well, because the timeline for the Prime series, that would probably be...
It takes place after Zero Mission, before Metroid 2.
Okay.
The Prime games.
Well, shit.
Yeah.
You know, and it's ironic because that means the oldest looking design was the most powerful design. But the most advanced looking design of the Vario suit was actually the weakest.
Funny
That
to think
explains a lot why she keeps losing everything.
that. You think it'd be
I will
Doom Guy
say-
who would be losing everything?
Man, Doom Guy, you know what? I know him and Samus are pretty much sharing everything in common. Because I'm thinking to myself, okay, we go to Doom Eternal, we'll have some of the upgrades from Doom 2016, like the high speed. Nope, we lost everything. So he has to get that speed back. He has to. I mean, dude, that's what you get from freaking working out those muscles too much. I mean, you lost all that speed. Now you got to get you got to get a freaking a maker rune just to get that back. Not a demon rune this time. No, you already threw out the demon runes. Now you're getting heaven runes. So,
That's true. That's true.
yeah, I mean, if you really think about it, yeah, for no one who's played the Doom remake or its sequel, Doom Eternal, this is literally how it is with upgrades. The first game, you find demonic runes and you complete their trials, you can just easily have that upgrade. It's simple as pie, and then you're like an unstoppable beast. Wow, I was about to say Metroid Eternal. Doom Eternal. You get heaven runes, except that you have no trial. You just simply find them, choose which one you want, and then boom, there you go. And you can, like,
Metroid Eternal would actually be a fitting title for this game too.
yeah, I mean, shoot.
When you think about it.
I had a thought one day of a gory Metroid. I don't see why not. I mean,
Nintendo.
Look, you know what? Okay, Nintendo can easily have a gory game. I mean,
yeah.
I know they're like mostly like a family-friendly thing, but they can throw in like a mature rated every now and then because look, they threw in Eternal Darkness.
I was just thinking that game.
A Resident Evil copy. They threw in Eternal Darkness.
Eternal Darkness.
Sanity's Requiem. That's made by Silicon Knights. That crap was the most creepiest and aggressive freaking game I've ever played.
The
by
sanity
Nintendo
system was insane.
God, the one that freaked me out the most, because here's the thing, when I played it back in the day, I actually had like an old TV that had the green volume bar. So when I saw that actually happening on the game, I thought I was sitting on the remote. I'm like, oh my god, what's happening? I don't know where the remote is. And then it flashed and like the guy yelled, "This isn't happening!" Oh my god, the game actually psyched me out.
Yeah, I remember that. So on the subject of Metroid,
Metroid with sanity effects.
That would be an interesting idea.
Shoot, they should have put that in Metroid Fusion. The X-parasites that you keep absorbing are now making you see shit.
So earlier I was talking about the Aeon Abilities and how all three of them represent the different forms of gameplay, and I brought up the radar, the pulse radar. The other ones were the Phantom Cloak, which you get around the beginning, and that will help you throughout Emmy zones. That will help you with the traversal part. So if you find yourself in a cornered area or an Emmy's on its way, then you gotta make very clever use of that Phantom Cloak. And then when it comes to the combat part, the dash system, I can never remember what it's called, but it's basically a dash. That thing is super useful, especially when it comes to boss fights. It really does something for your mobility. So I really like how this game is divided to like three gameplay experiences. The stealth part being somewhat new to Metroid. Metroid's not known for stealth, but it's usually a welcome addition when it's there.
Right. One ability that I'm glad they actually made a bit different was the speed boost.
Speed boost. Yes.
Because now, instead of just consistently running just to get it activated, you can actually toggle it now.
Yeah, and that thing is super crucial when it comes to puzzle solving.
Oh god, yeah, because I forgot I'm glad I had a tutorial, because I forgot that if you crouch right before you stop, you can literally hold it and then do like a super jump any direction.
Yeah. Yeah. Uh, there are some really hard Shine Spark puzzles in this game, and some of them I've spent upwards of like almost half an hour just trying to get it right, and it's insane. It's awesome, but it's insane. And I remember, and I mentioned this in because before this video we're doing right now, I actually did like a first impressions video, and I said that at first I felt like the exploration and puzzle solving was very light on this game, but then I started getting to the Shine Spark puzzles and I took it back. I absolutely took back what I said. Same went for the Emmy, actually. That first Emmy, the white one, I thought to myself like, it seems a bit easy to avoid, but very quickly I ended up putting my foot in my mouth. I also really like they don't overdo the Emmy, in my opinion. So that they start you off with a small tutorial one, and then the white one is a full-fledged Emmy, but still has a little bit of hand-holding to it. It's still letting you get used to the idea of an Emmy. Then it starts ramping up its mobility with the next two, and you're going through all these Emmy across the lower half of ZDR. Once you reach Ferenia, you get a break from the Emmy. It lets you explore the upper half of Barinia and a chunk of Gavorin leading to Elun. So you get a break from the Emmy there, but they're still existing. They're still present. So the dread is building up in a bit of a different way. It's refreshing you for the fear that is to come. So when you come back to Gavorin from Elun, now that dread is refreshed, and you have these two final really powerful Emmy that you have to contend with. So
Right.
I thought they did it really well with the way they placed their Emmy.
Oh yeah, very well. All right. So, any other final topics that we could have as of late before?
Oh man, I see. It's funny. We've been talking for so long, and I feel like we haven't scratched
2 hours
everything.
exactly.
Yeah.
Like Jesus, it's just so much to cover on Dread. It's just, well, I mean, my final verdict is always going to be a 10 out of 10. I mean, we've waited years for this, and love it.
I give it a 9.7. It's a little, the music is a little strange, and I wish they did something a little more with the endgame content. But ultimately, those aren't deal breakers. They're just tiny pet peeves.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I think any. Sorry, go on.
At least you have like a different take on it than, oh, it's just art direction.
I don't like giving games 10 out of 10 because I don't know if any game is absolutely perfect.
Oh yeah, I got you. You just got to you have to fully experience it first. I mean, that's understandable.
Yeah. No, I thought it was a fantastic game, and for the longest while, Super Metroid and Metroid Prime have basically been the king and queen of Metroid games, but I guess Metroid Dread is like a third contender now, as like the queen of Metroid games.
Right.
I don't know. Is there like a middle title amongst the king and queen? Queen it is then.
Queen.
Metroid Dread is the queen of Metroid games.
It's the queen.
Yeah, no, as far as I can think of, we've pretty much covered all of it.
Alrighty.
If we have any more additional thoughts, I think we can do a future video. What do you think?
Oh hell yeah! I mean, especially if they got like more talks of it coming out. You know what? I know a talk we could do. Uh, for future videos, we could probably have like it. You know what? I got it. Next video. Why don't we have a discussion about this whole expansion pack nonsense?
With Nintendo?
Yes.
Or are you talking like Metroid specifically?
No, I mean like, well, actually both. I mean, possible for the possibility of there being maybe expansion for Metroid Dread, but maybe until we hear something about it. Probably for right now, the bull with Metro with not Metro, God damn it, I cannot talk. The expansion pass that they're doing with the N64 and Sega Genesis stuff. I feel like maybe opinions would be heard during that, because a lot of people are having some like really bad concerns about it, because honestly the real people that could probably afford that are just those high-end YouTubers and Twitch streamers that can just like, oh, I make enough money off of this platform, I can afford it.
Yeah.
I mean, the rest of us got to pay bills, so.
All right. Yeah, we'll look into that. So this here was our Metroid Dread sort of review, sort of Nintendo discussion. I didn't like our past videos. For everyone watching, I know this has been very disjointed, very loose direction. I didn't want to have a slideshow in this, like the past videos on my channel, because those were more investigative of the marketing. This one was just more like a freelance, say what you want, let the flow go where it goes kind of thing. So, I said what I need to say.
That.
As far as my brain can process right now, I said everything I can think of. And I'm winded, I'm tired. And I imagine you are too.
Nah, like I said, I just woke up like a couple hours ago, and I gotta continue the rest of this stream, so we're gonna be moving on to some multiplayer stuff in a bit. So
alright, well, you will continue, and I'll close the curtain on my end. Alright. This here was I, Carrie, aka Count Lazuli, and Phil from 8livesstudios doing a loose review of Metroid Dread, and we are out.